In this video, I'm going to show you how we can connect an MCP client up to Postgres and use some natural language to do some Postgres queries. Let's do this.
Vibe engineer, chilling and coding like a vibe engineer.
It's important to spend a bit of time to get the right prompt for ChatGPT to be sure you'll get a quality result. Okay, let's go. Oi, matey chops, give me a Postgres schema for a CRM system. Do a good one or I'll reach around and unplug you. I mean it. Okay, let's see what we get. Nice and beefy. Okay, it's gone a bit cheeky, but never mind. Organizations, teams, I want to see leads, companies, that makes sense. Contacts, contact emails, leads, there we go. Okay, so it looks like it's got everything in one go. And what we'll do when it's finished is we'll get this into Supabase. So we'll actually get a Postgres instance running with this schema. I want to see what it comes back with at the end. So the next step is to go into Supabase and create a database. So you'll need to create an account or log in. I've already created a project called CRM System. And then what I'm hoping to do, go into the SQL editor, get our schema, copy code. Can't imagine this works first time, but here we go. Paste that in, run. Syntax error, right. So what we do is feed that back in to ChatGPT. I probably should have told it I'm using Supabase. All right, let's see if it can fix that. Okay, apparently, I did say it was Postgres, mate. Okay, yeah, give me all in one. All right, Captain. All right, let's copy that. Go in again. Control A, Control V. Let's see if that runs. Okay, success, no. So did it give me some tables? No. Oh, because I'm in the wrong schema. Go into CRM. Ah, there we go. So there are all our tables. So now we've got our database. And basically, if you don't know, Supabase underneath is a Postgres database. What we want is a connection URL. So if you click on connection above there, it will give you this connection URL. The password part of it, you would have created a password when you set up a new project. So cut and paste that, keep it somewhere safe. Go to the Postgres MCP project on GitHub, and we can run something like this. So this is going to download the Docker image, and you can see that you can pass in the database URL, the connection string. So you can use the connection string that you had from Supabase and add that in there. The other option is to use a cloud-based service. So for this, we're going to use deploy MCP. And what we can do is in MCP servers, we can select an MCP server. And in this case, I'm going to select Postgres. Okay. This shows us the different tool methods we get with the service. And then what we can do is, it says add API key, but actually what we put here is our connection string. So we would cut and paste our Postgres connection string that we've got from Supabase or from any other database into this. And then what we can do then, if I go back to one I created before, is you'll get this connection. And then what you can do is view the MCP URL and take that. That's what we're going to use for this kind of streaming HTTP, they call it. And what you'll also need to do is create an API key. So you can go into the API keys and create one. And this gives you the ability to authorize your your kind of MCP client with this MCP server. So I was going to show how you can use MCP with Claude Desktop, but unfortunately you need a paid account to use these kind of streaming HTTP servers. So another option is to use something called Yan AI, which looks like this. So this is a desktop you can download. It works on Linux. It works on the other operating systems as well. And I'll get that installed and then we'll carry on from there. To use Yan AI, we need to set up some models, which it allows you to download local models, but I'm going to use, for MCP, you kind of want a really strong model. So let me look at where we set up models, model providers. So what I would recommend you do is get a API key from OpenAI. You can cut and paste it into here, and then that'll give you access to things like GPT-5 Mini, these models come with tool capability, and tool capability is what you'll need for MCP. So I'll set that up now. What we also need to do is add our MCP server, and the way that we do that is to go to the MCP server section, and we can give the server a name. We need to select HTTP. We enter the URL that we were given from deploy, and then for the headers, we're going to use something like authentication bearer, and then you'll put your API key in here, and this ensures that when Jan calls the MCP server, it's correctly authenticated. So I'll go away and add that. So if you got this far, well done. What you should see is down in the console here, a little tools section, and you can see our Postgres CRM MCP server and the different methods that it supports. Now, what I was going to do is kind of show inserting leads into the database, but it turned out to be a bit of a battle, so I'll walk you through it. So what I said, first of all, is show me how many leads are in the database, okay? And it executed some SQL. We can actually see the SQL that it executed and returned 0 leads. Now, what I did then is I got ChatGPT to create some leads, and I cut and pasted those in, and I just said, add leads to the leads. Okay, and then what it started to do is it started to get some errors when we tried to do that. So I kept persisting. I kind of said, what columns does the table have? And it showed me what columns was in the table. Then it kind of figured out that one of the extensions was missing from the database. So I just said, create it. And it went away and it created this UUID extension. Okay. Then it said, would you like me to now try adding the leads? I said, yes. And then it went away and did a big insert with all of the leads. And that's when it kind of figured out that we had all these referential integrity problems, and it was telling me all the issues. So I just go, okay, do all of that. And it ran a whole bunch more calls. And eventually it kind of figured out we've got more foreign key constraints. So it needed to insert a new organization. That I said, yeah, do it. Okay, then it had a bit of I don't know what all this was about, but eventually it spat all that out. So I just said, okay. And then he went away and ran a whole bunch of SQL, creating organizations and then starting to insert leads and all other stuff, and on and on and on. And eventually it said, I've successfully added a new organization, inserted all the leads. I said, can you show me the results of a select on the leads table? So it runs a basic select star from CRM leads and then spat that onto the screen. So semi-successful, I would say. I mean, it kind of shows the way agentic AI works, where it might encounter problems and you just go deal with it, and it'll go away and kind of iteratively keep on calling tools until it gets to the end of the problem. So I hope that was useful. It kind of gives you an insight into what it looks like to run text against, I'm not calling it a production database, but the schema was production-like. I mean, if you were building a CRM SaaS application, your schema is probably going to look like that. And I don't know, for me, it was useful, a good insight, and I hope you liked it. If you want to see more videos like this, then hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you next time.